Welcome to Fact or Freestyle.
We discover hidden secrets of BMX.
And now we're going to find out what's going on.
Let's see how far down this rabbit hole we go.
We're at Changa, and I was just inducted into the Plywood Hoods by Kevin and all of my friends, and everyone snuck this one in on me, and it was an incredible prank. And now for the rest of my life, I am going to inspire to share the stoke that I'm feeling right now. I am experiencing such incredible stoke that tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up in hyper stoke. I'm still in stoke shock right now. But yeah, like the books have been closed for 30 years. This is the first time someone's been in the books in 30 years, which means the spirit of the Plywood Hoods lives. I have been auditioning for the Plywood Hoods for 8 years, hyper intentionally. I have hoped, but it has been 8 years. It has been like 9 years that I have been intentionally auditioning. I haven't told anyone that I've been auditioning. I have been auditioning. I haven't told anyone. It was only last summer that I told you that I love you and I will do anything.
Less talk, more ride.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what I did is I basically contacted Dave and was like, I need a picture of Joe to put on this plaque. But then I already talked to Joe because I'm doing the Flatland Assassins clothing line. So I'm like, Joe, I want to throw you on there. Yeah. So not to tip him off, but then he went ahead and shot me an image. So I was already working on it before. So I pretty much got it black and whited, got it emailed over, had it, then we decided what the wording was going to be. And then from that point on, I emailed it to the guy. He sent me back the proofs, and we ran it, and that was it.
Hey, tell me what's on it.
Well, it's his induction of at 7:43 p.m. Obviously, 43, perfect number, BMX history, and then it was induction into the Plywood Hoods team, and then the official date. 02/19/22. If you add those numbers up, all the stars, everything aligned perfectly, it equals 43.
Nice. How long has it been since somebody's been inducted into Plywood Hoods?
Years.
It's been a minute, right?
It's been years, yeah. I can't even really remember when it's been such a spectacle of induction, but because Joe's a dreamer, and he was dreaming big, so it worked out that his dream pulled us all in.
Yeah. What's it like having Joe on the Plywood Hoods?
Oh, it's great. It's fresh. He's going to bring a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So, it's going to kind of, put a lot of energy back into the hoods.
Yeah. Do you have any special jobs for him or tasks that he's going to do?
I don't personally, but I know some of the elders in the Plywood Hoods. I think they have something in store for him. So,
nice. Yeah, don't say what it is. I don't know.
That's up to them. So we'll see how that plays out.
Wow, Joe. So, like, just describe the last 24 hours for you in 24 seconds. No, 43 seconds.
24 hours and 43 seconds. I came up here knowing that my coronation could occur if I were to send a clip of me doing a 4-foot high tabletop to Brett, who was living in Brett's house. Little did I realize that while I was focusing on doing this air, my friends were conspiring.
In a big way.
In a bigger way than I've ever conspired, which is pretty significant because I've done some things.
You've done your fair share of conspiring.
This, I've always admired my friends. This one was like Voltron.
So, can you, for our listeners out here, I'm just thinking of our listeners, Joe, because at this point, you've reached this next level for a personal growth, a goal that you've had for 4+ years.
8-9 years I've been
8-9 years
auditioning.
you've been on audition. So, I guess it'd be great if we could help describe how that actually came to be. Like, what was it that you think happened in your life to set this up? Because there was a lot of things. I mean, there's 12 or 13 riders here, all to support.
If you were to write this story, every plot point would be absolutely true. It would also be intimidating to put yourself as that character. To help me be comfortable in that role, I decided to make it comedic. And so I would take these really big themes, but then apply them to the most petty things I could, like frog bars. And if you break it down and take the characters out, like, oh!
Gary almost got the cherry picker.
So like, if you were an anthropologist, you could break the story down not knowing that the characters were current day ridiculous. That helped me hack my mind.
So I noticed last night, I mean, it was obviously a big build-up. All these riders are just showing up.
Oh, I had no idea what was going on.
The level of depth was just building and building.
Yeah.
And then Kevin comes in.
And
he's got your plaque under his hoodie. And when you saw that, I noticed you weren't laughing at that point. Describe that feeling in your body and where your head was at, and I don't know, in detail.
You climb a mountain. When you start at the top, you can't look up because you're so far away. All I could really do was make the next tactical move, But you're not looking because you can't. Because if you look up, you say I'm too far away. There's a chance that you could discourage yourself.
Right.
And so I had to fall out of that. And so as dudes started to come up, I was locked on Ray, because Ray was like, I can't believe you guys didn't call me. Which, like, he did that snake charmer thing. He's like, focus on me. And so when Kevin came up, I was like, I had to ask myself, is this really happening? But I had to be very clear. I read every word because in the past 3 weeks, I have been pranked hard.
Next level pranking, actually,
Like,
that we pulled off. And Ray was a big part of that last prank.
And Ray...
Yeah. So you read that plaque, you're like, what is here?
Every single, and I looked up at Kevin, I looked him in the eye, and I had to assess.
So isn't that how life is, though? Like, whatever it is that you're going through, you have to kind of like, okay, assess the moment, look at what's actually true, what's actually happening. Don't read into it too much, because you were trying to read into it, and it was like, it was obvious. This is you. We're honoring you to the plywood hood.
So, yes, there have been contest runs where I've either gotten hurt before or I broke my bars and I had to ride other bars, and I'm in it, and I would make a decision as to whether to focus or to like let the focus go, or if something wasn't feeling right, whether to just let it fly or feel like down to my toe to feel the muscle activate to bring it back. And it was almost like I was giving myself CPR, like getting the blood back to it, coming back
Nice.
to life.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
There was some concern that you were going to pass out.
There was
And
some concern
There
that I was
were
gonna
some
pass
concerns,
out.
and I didn't really plan for that. I noticed there's some pillows over there. I could have had like a little pillow, like set up
Like a
behind
crash
you. But,
pad?
Yeah, crash pad. But I'm glad you didn't pass out. I know we have to roll because we got to record
Yep.
the next Summit 43 with Scott Hagness.
Scott Hagness.
Happening here at factOrFreestyle in just a few minutes. So we got to roll. Any final words, just about like how stoked you are, how glad you are to hear ride, and I don't know, anything you want to add.
Now, more than ever, my personal mission is to make the Stoke that other people can have this kind of thing happen to them. It's just Stoke. And so I just got to keep Stoke mining. I got to get back to the Stoke mine.
So kind of like people with Bitcoin, mine Bitcoin. Are you going to mine?
I'm going to mine Stoke.
You're going to mine Stoke.
The only difference between Bitcoin and Stoke is that Bitcoin, there is a finite number of Bitcoin.
There's unlimited.
There's
Stoke.
unlimited Stoke. It takes work
See?
to find.
Exactly.
It takes work to find, to calculate,
Yeah.
but it's unlimited. So there's never, Stoke can't be used as currency. Money can be used as currency. Stoke isn't fixed like currency. Stoke, you have to dig it up, but Stoke can move mountains.